Ravi Malik had always believed that cities never truly slept. It was almost midnight when Ravi stepped into the old subway station. The place looked forgotten by time.
I've lived here for 5 years and I've never seen this platform before. He walked down the steps cautiously. The deeper he went, the colder the air became.
Only a few dim lights illuminated the long platform, casting eerie shadows across the tracks.
An old bench sat near the center of the platform. The stranger looked incredibly old.
He wasn't moving. Ravi approached slowly.
"Excuse me," he said. "Does the train still run from here?"
The old man lifted his head slightly.
"Yes," he said in a raspy voice. "When does it come?"
The old man looked toward the dark tunnel.
At midnight, Sirsness.
Ravi checked the clock mounted on the wall. "11:58 p.m.
The old man stood up slowly.
He began walking toward the stairs.
Ravi watched him leave.
"Hey, Ravi called out!" "Aren't you taking the train?"
The old man paused halfway up the stairs.
Without turning around, he spoke. "I already did. Once."
Then he disappeared into the darkness. Ravi felt uneasy.
But tried to ignore it.
Two minutes later, the lights in the station flickered violently. The clock changed to 12 a.m. From deep inside the tunnel, Ravi heard something approaching. A low, rumbling sound echoed through the tracks.
At first, he thought it was a normal train.
But something about it felt wrong. The sound wasn't steady.
Dragged. like metal grinding against stone.
Then a train slowly emerged from the darkness.
It looked ancient.
Its steel body was rusted and scratched.
And its windows were dark and dusty.
The headlights barely worked.
The train screeched to a stop in front of Ravi.
The doors slid open with a loud metallic hiss. Inside, the lights flickered dimly.
Ravi hesitated. Hesitated. But it was his only way home. He stepped inside.
The doors slammed shut immediately.
The train began moving.
Inside the carriage, the air smelled stale and cold.
The seats were torn and covered in dust.
But Ravi quickly realized something else. The train wasn't empty. There were people sitting in the seats.
At least, they looked like people.
Every passenger sat perfectly still, facing forward.
None of them blinked.
Ravi swallowed nervously.
Late-night commuters.
The train continued deeper into the tunnel. But after several minutes, Ravi noticed something strange. The train never stopped.
No stations passed by.
Just endless darkness outside the windows.
He leaned toward the glass, trying to see something outside. That's when he noticed the reflection. At first, everything looked normal. Then he saw the passengers behind him. In the reflection, they were all staring directly at him. Ravi slowly turned around.
Every passenger still faced forward.
His heart began pounding. He looked back at the window. The reflection showed something different now.
The passengers had stood up.
And they were slowly walking toward him.
Ravi spun around again.
They were still sitting.
But when he checked the window again, they were closer. Their reflections surrounded him.
Cold sweat dripped down his forehead.
What is this place?
Suddenly, a voice spoke over the train speakers.
Next stop, the end of the line.
The passengers slowly began turning their heads.
Their necks twisted unnaturally as they looked directly at Ravi.
One by one, their eyes were empty. Their mouths slowly opened. But no sound came out.
The train began slowing down.
Outside the window, a faint light appeared in the distance.
A station. But it looked wrong.
The platform outside was filled with dark figures, standing silently in rows.
Waiting.
The train finally stopped.
The doors opened.
The passengers inside the train all stood up at the same time.
Their bodies moved stiffly, like puppets. They began walking towards the doors. Toward the waiting crowd outside. One of them stopped beside Ravi.
A woman with hollow eyes and gray skin.
She leaned close to him and whispered softly.
You're not supposed to be here.
Ravi stood up quickly.
Then how do I leave?
The woman slowly pointed toward the end of the train.
There's only one way.
The other passengers continued exiting the train, disappearing into the crowd outside.
Ravi ran through the empty carriage toward the back door.
But as he reached it, the train suddenly jerked violently.
The doors slammed shut again.
The train started moving.
Fast.
The woman's voice echoed behind him.
You missed your stop.
Ravi looked through the window in horror.
The station was already gone.
The tunnel outside had become darker than before.
The train was heading deeper into it.
The lights flickered. Then turned red.
The speakers crackled.
Next stop, nowhere.
Ravi ran to the door, pounding on it desperately.
Let me out!
The passengers who had remained on the train slowly stood up behind him.
This time, they weren't frozen.
Their hollow eyes locked onto him.
And they were smiling.
Ravi sat in the dark, trying to make sense of what was happening.
But there was no escape.
Back at platform 13, the station returned to silence.
Minutes later, another lost traveler wandered down the stairs.
Confused. Looking for a train home. And somewhere deep in the tunnel, an ancient train was already on its way.